So last night, the Fox affiliate for Washington, D.C., the Fox television affiliate, released a story that on its face seemed pretty shocking and perhaps illuminating. They reported that a private investigator retained by the family of Seth Rich had disclosed that there was evidence to believe Rich had been in communications with WikiLeaks. Now, Rich was a DNC staffer, somewhat low-level staffer, who was killed on the streets in Washington, D.C. last July, and the circumstances of his death are still somewhat obscure. And, he's basically been the centerpiece of an alternate theory about who may have leaked the DNC emails to WikiLeaks, or how WikiLeaks might have obtained the DNC emails that they later published. So that story got an influx of attention over the past day or so. People immediately began circulating the story to validate the thesis that they had been advancing for many months now. And if you took the story at face value, yeah, you might believe that your pre-existing beliefs regarding Rich had been validated, but normally what is helpful in these circumstances is to take some time to process the new information, to vet it, to check it against additional sources, and not to jump to rash conclusions about its veracity. But that didn't stop conservative media like Breitbart and the Drudge Report and Fox News from going wild with the story. Sean Hannity has led with it this evening on his TV show. And what you would have found if you took a moment to pause and reflect before peddling this story is that the story has fallen apart upon the most minimal scrutiny. So, when CNN contacted the private investigator who was retained by the family, he admitted that he had no evidence to suggest that Rich had contacted WikiLeaks. He had no evidence. So the crux of the story, the main reason why this became a story last night, was that this private investigator supposedly had claimed that he had in his possession, which he obtained over the course of his investigation, evidence to suggest communications between Rich and WikiLeaks. But CNN, who interviewed him to corroborate the story, which is basic journalistic due diligence, learned upon querying Wheeler that Wheeler actually had no such evidence. Quote, "I only got that information from the reporter of Fox News," Wheeler told CNN. And the news director of this Washington, D.C. TV station, didn't reply to CNN's request for comment. So at this point, people who are promoting this story uncritically, people who are peddling its claims without scrutinizing them very, very carefully, are not only irresponsible, but destructive and odious, because there's no reason at all to believe that this conspiracy is accurate or grounded in anything resembling reality. Now, as with any conspiracy theory, there's always the potential that some information that is actually legitimate could come out corroborating it sometime in the future. But as of now, we have no such information at all. So people who are peddling this stuff are charlatans for the most part. Some might be well-meaning and might just be swindled. But there is just no good reason at all to believe that any of this is accurate. And the people who are lighting up the internet with fantastical claims about this story are doing their audience a disservice and they are perpetuating bogus theories that just make people who purvey them look extremely stupid. So you can't disprove a negative. You can't say that we know for certain that no evidence will ever come out to substantiate this thesis. But the supposed smoking gun that came out just last night, in which rocketed across social media and rocketed across the conservative media, has no validity. So I just wanted to do a short video on that subject because I've been inundated with people demanding that I talk about it for the past 24 hours. So now I'm talking about it and I'm denouncing it as idiotic. And there you have it. Read the CNN article, which I will link to in the description box, and stop being stupid. So I will talk to you later.